Good evening. It has some of the busiest commuter lines in the country. So today, South West Trains unveiled its answer to chronic overcrowding. A new generation of trains that will be bigger and longer. Well, when South West Trains was privatised in 1996, it carried 300,000 passengers a day. Well, that's more than doubled to 650,000. 150 new carriages are on order at a cost of £210 million. Well, our transport correspondent Mike Pearce reports now from Germany, where they're being built.
South West Trains passengers have long complained about having to stand. It's clear the new carriages are badly needed.
Everyone trying to cram onto a train at 10 to 9 seems to be the problem as much as anything.
You've actually changed your working habits just to get around this?
Yeah, I have. My boss is pretty flexible, so I can go in at different times. So I tend to go in after 9 o'clock just to miss some of the rush.
Very hot, very uncomfortable.
Standing best part of 2 hours, and it's not acceptable.
So here's the answer: 150 new carriages to increase capacity. They're currently being built in Germany, and the first are now complete. The so-called DeZero city trains have a radical new design. There's more space with the ends of the carriages opened up, so you can see right down the train.
Wi-Fi, comfortable seats, air conditioning that's adjusted dependent on the number of people that are in the carriage. Lots of new features which will make it a much nicer environment for people to travel on. This
is the longest test track in Europe, and the new trains are being put through their paces.
It's quite easy to drive. As you see, I can just put the knob down and it will start, and if I put it there it will brake, so very easy to drive.
Well, the first difference you notice with this train is the space. There is plenty of it. South West Trains say there's still the same amount of seats, but also there's no first class. The trains will first be used on the Windsor line, allowing those carriages to transfer and add extra capacity to the rest of the South West Trains network in Surrey, Berkshire and Hampshire.
We are operating some of the busiest trains in the UK, and the real benefit is this train will give more capacity for passengers, will allow passengers to get on and off the train easier and quicker, and therefore will also reduce the journey times in and out of Waterloo.
Does it solve the overcrowding problem or just help it?
It will not resolve the overcrowding issue, but it's one significant step forward.
The first of the new carriages are due by the end of the year, with passengers using them from the spring. Mike Pearce, ITV News, Wildenrath in Germany.
Well, meanwhile, angry commuters jeered managers of Southern Rail at a public meeting in Seaford. The town has seen 80% of its trains cut, following a dispute between the company and the RMT union. The audience heard that 2 services will be reinstated, but were warned the reduced timetable could be extended beyond the original 4 weeks.
Well, firstly, I'd like to apologise for passengers in the Seaford area. Over the last couple of weeks, the service has definitely not been the service that our customers expect or we want to deliver. So I do apologise to the customers for the inconvenience they have been caused.
Well, I thought it was a bit of a shambles, actually, because they didn't really answer the question as to why they've cut 81% of our line.
I don't think they know what they're talking about.
As you can tell from the people in there, there's a lot of anger, a lot of passion. We need a rail service, we need the infrastructure, and we need it now.
Now, schools in Brighton and Hove will break up for an extra week in the autumn under radical new plans to make it more affordable for families to go on holiday. It means the City Council is the first local authority in the country to change term times. Tom Savides reports.
Could more parents now enjoy a holiday abroad with their children without fear of being fined? Well, Brighton and Hove Council has come up with what it believes could be a solution. It's extending the autumn half-term break from 1 week to 2 weeks. Mum Jodie Cutting, whose 4-year-old son Riley is due to start infant school in September, says taking a holiday in October isn't ideal.
It should have been a different month, not October, because it's a silly time, especially if parents want to take their children away on holiday.
Noah Myers took his 2 sons on a 3-day family trip to Poland, but was fined. He subsequently lost a High Court battle claiming the protection of family life. He welcomes today's decision, but believes more can be done.
I think it's a great first step. I think it's very important for children who come from low-income families to be able to afford a holiday. But more work needs to be done specifically with special circumstances around family events.
The new autumn half-term break won't begin until next year and will last between the 16th and the 27th of October. But education bosses say that children won't miss out on any schooling because they're also slightly adjusting the beginning and the finish of all three main terms.
The whole point of a trial is to evaluate the extent to which the new October holiday works as a standalone week outside of the traditional term time. We'll evaluate it. If it works, parents like it, and schools do as well, then we'll probably stick with it.
I absolutely think it's brilliant that the council are prepared to try something new, to listen to us and to listen to teachers and to come up with something that works for all of us.
Holiday companies are renowned for putting up prices over the summer, Christmas and Easter breaks. Will they now be looking at this extended autumn break as a money spinner, or will they leave prices as they are? Tom Savides, ITV News, Brighton.
A 33-year-old man has been sentenced to 18 years in prison following a murder inquiry in Portsmouth earlier this year. Brendan Willis had previously pleaded guilty to the murder of 27-year-old Christopher Butler. His body was discovered at an address in Waverley Road in Southsea on New Year's Day. Gatwick Airport has announced an extra £200 million investment for the next 5 years. It's been welcomed by London Mayor Sadiq Khan, who's urging Prime Minister Theresa May to make a quick decision on airport expansion in the south. A Springer Spaniel has been discovered abandoned and close to death in Bournemouth. The 3-year-old, named Dolly, was emaciated and unable to stand. She's now being cared for by the veterinary charity PDSA. Now, after 6 months in space, you might have expected Sussex-born Tim Peake to be enjoying a well-earned break. But instead, he spent the day at the Farnborough International Air Show, encouraging young people to think about a career in the aerospace industry. Lauren Hall reports.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have liftoff.
Every astronaut needs a countdown, and this lot were happy to give him one on his first appearance in the UK after landing back on Earth.
Thank you very much, and it's great to be here.
Tim Peake has just returned after becoming the first British astronaut to serve on the International Space Station. A mission which even saw him run a marathon and present a music award alongside his day-to-day duties.
It still seems fairly surreal that less than 4 weeks ago I was on board the International Space Station travelling at 25 times the speed of sound and looking down on planet Earth.
Now he's back here with us, and he was keen to talk about his time in space at a packed press conference.
Tim, when you were up in space, we saw you running a marathon, we saw you presenting a Brit Award, even reading a bedtime story. But what for you was your favourite moment?
The favourite moment was it's very easy to define, really. It was the moment that Tim Copra opened the hatch in the airlock when we were in our spacesuits just getting ready to go out into space. It was just an overwhelming feeling of euphoria, really. I was just delighted, and all the nerves went away, and I was just really happy to get on with the job and go outside and do that spacewalk.
Well, when you put it like that, it's no wonder so many young people now want to follow in his spacewalking footsteps.
When you're a kid, it's what you sort of dream of going into space and something like that.
You must get the most amazing views of Earth.
Yeah, it looks quite a good job to go in, but quite a challenging job as well.
Yeah, it just looks really exciting.
I'd like to float around.
Yeah.
They've been able to learn all about it at this event, which aims to get young people thinking about a career in the aerospace industry.
Everyone recognises the excitement that there is in science and technology, and there's a real resurgence of interest from young people in all parts of the country about this, and it's tremendous to encourage it.
After returning from one mission, it seems this astronaut's got a new one, helping to inspire the next generation. Lauren Hall, ITV News.
Let's hope so. Well, time now for the weekend weather forecast. With the details, here's Simon Parkin.
From cold fronts to camping, driving through Europe, Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
Good evening, and you'll be pleased to know we're on the cusp of a pretty decent weekend. Tomorrow a bit more cloud around and the risk of an odd shower, but Sunday looking dry, fine and warm too. Speaking of warm, mild and muggy tonight, temperatures around 15, 16 degrees with an awful lot of cloud on top of us and a bit of patchy mist over the higher ground of the Cotswolds too. And it will be a grey start to tomorrow. In fact, Saturday's going to be a generally grey day. There will be an occasional glimpse of brightness, although come the afternoon that could well spark off an odd shower, but for many of us it will just stay dry but cloudy. Temperatures though doing very well with highs tomorrow of 23 degrees.
Eurotunnel the Shuttle sponsors ITV Meridian weather.
That's it for now. We'll have bulletins throughout the weekend, but from all of us here on the Late Team, do have a very good night. Bye-bye.